Good day, all. Good day, all. I had to pre-record this because, the live be getting on my nerve. But I want to talk about the young lady that was abused by R. Kelly and abused by her parents. I don't know what made her come out now to tell her story, because she had many opportunities to come out and tell her story. But she chose not to. And now that she said that her father has passed away, a lot of stuff she can talk about now. So I was able to get through some of the interview, but I remember the story. And because I was a teenager, I was an older teenager then. I think I had to be like 19, 20, maybe 21 or something like that during that time that the video came out. It's so bad because a lot of us saw the video, but when we saw the video, we thought it was adults first, and then it skipped to her. I think that's how they was selling it, because it is actually pornography, especially with a teenager. But the beginning of the video, what I remember was Kelly sleeping with an older woman, right? And then all of a sudden, it clicked over to this girl in this room. It would look like a jacuzzi type room or whatever the case may be. But then she was dancing and she peed on him. And then she said, "Give me my money." Or she was asking for her money. I was in a state of shock. And I didn't watch no more after that. That was enough for me. You understand what I'm saying? Because it actually flashed me back, because I was also almost groomed, messing around with an older man. But luckily my mother and father figured out what was going on, and they stopped it immediately. And that was the first and the last ever time, because there are predators out there that do try to come for young people, or look for people that have some type of weakness or something going on in the home and stuff like that. And once my mother figured it out, it stopped immediately. And that's one of my main concerns, was the parents. Also, during that time, Sparkles was popping. Sparkles was a R&B singer, and I actually liked her music. She was good, but we didn't later find out until, later on that was her niece. And a lot of people were really like, "How did you let your niece and stuff?" But when you hear the story, you understood, because she stood 10 toes down for her family. She was the first one to even say anything about R. Kelly being abusive to her niece, sexually abusive, or grooming her, or whatever the case may be. And she was shut down. Like, 1 minute she was there, the next minute she was gone. And I figured it was because of that. And now that the young lady has said, oh, maybe she was mad because she was ousted out. She was ousted out because she was talking and she said something about the abuse that R. Kelly was doing. And she tried to talk to her sister, because this is her sister's daughter, and her brother-in-law, which, what I heard, all of this stuff is alleged, that the brother-in-law was a musician. And he needed that position also. He was trying to be down with R. Kelly. Everybody was trying to be down with R. Kelly. You understand? And what I'm saying, they didn't even care that they sold their own daughter for R. Kelly. Okay? But her coming out, telling her story as a woman, as a woman today, and a young girl before, I'm happy that she was able to tell her story. But also, when she said that her aunt told her to go on his lap and rub his head and say, be my godfather. I don't think that happened. That's my personal opinion. I'm not trying to take away from the victim, but I don't think I'm an auntie. I'm not doing that. I'm not telling my niece that or anything like that. That's horrible. I think that she got some type of beef with her aunt because her aunt did not co-sign it. And then whatever her mother and her father felt, she took on that energy, and that's why she's treating her aunt the way she's treating it. But Sparkles wound up coming out with a response, and I respect the response. And again, she's the only one that stood 10 toes down to go against the abuse of what R. Kelly was doing to her. She sacrificed her career for it, And then when they tried to go back into court to fight it, what happened? Sparkles spoke up again. And then the parents didn't. They didn't. At the last minute, they reneged, and they got paid. They got paid. Nobody can't tell me they didn't get paid. But the worst thing is that so many people knew what was going on in this circle and did not do anything about it. Why? Because it was all about the money and the fame. And when you let money and fame run your life, ain't nothing good is going to come out of it. And as you see, we see what went down right now. The message of the day, we need to deal with sexual abuse amongst our family, friends, that's how it's able to fester, because it's in secrecy. And a lot of people say, well, I'll hurt your family, or I'll do this, or I will say this, or I'll do this. You cannot allow this. So you have to communicate with your young people, especially if somebody is touching their personal space or coming into their personal space. You're supposed to let them know that that's not right. All of the adults that was in this young lady life failed her, okay? And especially her mother and father, I'm sorry, I'm blaming them, because there's nowhere in the world my 14-year-old is going to be dancing on top of R. Kelly and peeing on him and screaming, "Give me my money." Okay? That was just out of order, from the top to the bottom to the root. It was horrible. Also, he's not the only one. It's many men out there that talk with younger girls or try to groom younger girls and stuff like that. We need to deal with that. There's a lot, and women too. We don't want to get it twisted, because you have women that's getting pregnant by their teenage lovers. It needs to be talked about, and it all starts at home. If you have anything going on in your home, or you have issues, that's how predators are able to come in and do what they do, okay? Because they build off of that bad energy. So again, thank her for sharing, but I think it's so much more that she needs to deal with. Well, her father's gone now, I don't know about her mother and stuff, but it broke up their family, because of all of this. And I pray that they find a way, I find a way. And maybe she's doing this because she want to tell her story, or maybe she's doing this because she wants money, because R. Kelly is now in jail for his behavior, and I believe he's really in jail for what she did to what happened to her. But also, a lot of these parents are to blame, because only thing they saw through the purple haze was money, riches, and being on top, and not one time thought about the blessings that God gave them, their children. All right, peace.